If you make decisions based on emotion, you're fucked.
Right.
Like you can't. Like you have to remove yourself from anything you feel, that you thought, how bad you want it, and you have to objectively be able to take a step back and go, this is what it is on paper. Is this the right deal or not? All right, guys, episode 3, all boots, no BS. Here with my man, KGB, where we talk things business, we talk things life, we talk a little AI, a little marketing, all the things.
That's right.
So as a recap, Chance Weber, I have a digital marketing agency and I'm really getting heavy into the AI world. And my buddy Kenny here is in the real estate world, mostly storage facilities, kind of expanding into some other shit now.
A little bit, dabbling in a few other little things.
Doing a little dabbling. And we're just two pretty much rednecks from Missouri that get on here and see if anybody wants to listen.
We got two viewers, 2 listeners.
2 listeners. I think we're up to at least, I think we got 3 now.
3? All right,
Yeah.
good.
What's new, man? What's new in your world? Business, life, personal? What's new?
Got a puppy last week, which is exciting and, like another little kid. So that's
Just pissing and shitting all over your house?
pretty much, yeah. She just walked up to we have a little crate that we keep her bones and stuff in this morning, walked up to it and just pissed right in front of it for no reason.
What'd you name her?
Willow. Wheaton Terrier, so.
I like that name.
She's cute.
She is cute.
Yeah, so we got that going on, and then closed out a deal that I signed the contract on, made a little bit of a fee on that, so that's going good.
Was this a flip?
Yeah,
I don't know the proper terminology in the world.
Look, here it is. I get
Break
something
it
on the
down.
contract for, let's just say $100,000.
Yeah.
And then I find a buyer for $150, and then their normal real estate closing, like 45 days. And then when they close, $50 goes to me because I got under contract for $100. The new buyer paid $150, and then they pay the seller the $100,000. They own the property. So I basically
That sounds like a good business to be in.
it's not bad. The key is finding the deals, right? And then using your network to find a credible buyer that can close. Because you don't want people to come back and retrade and let it drag out.
Do you ever have like the new buyer get buyer's remorse knowing that like you essentially secured it for $100 and they paid $150? Like they essentially paid like a 50% markup.
Yeah,
I've ever have anybody that's like, dude, what the fuck? Why would I do this?
Well, the most people that I've been selling to is people I know and they understand what I do. And I'm doing something they can't do. I'm finding a deal. So even at the $150,
The value's still there.
Yeah, like it'll be worth $300 in 2 years, right? So they're still going to make good money.
Yeah.
I could buy it and run it and make that money, but I'd rather just get the money now and do something else and not be bogged down with the operation. So like people that are concerned about me making 50 grand and doing, not a ton of work, they're not my buyer. They need to go on and find a deal.
And they didn't source the deal, and you have cost and time and
Right,
labor and everything in
exactly.
that as well. Which makes sense. I mean, that does make sense.
Yeah, so I got that closed. I got another one under contract that I'm under contract for a set amount, and I already have a buyer, and that should close, knock on wood, in about 30 days.
Another flip like this.
Yeah.
Damn,
It's
is this
a little
like
bit-
becoming the model? You out of the long-term holds. You're in that
Not-
fast cash.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's just so
Portfolio.
I got a VA who makes about 150 cold calls a day, and another VA who scrapes data off Google Maps all day long and skip traces it and basically feeds it to my caller. And my caller, when someone's interested in an offer, sends that to me, right? So originally I built all this so I can help my acquisitions, because that's my role within my company is I acquire, and I want to be talking to people on the phone that own storage facilities. So I was coming across deals that I'm like, well, shit. This is a deal, but I really don't want to buy it right now, or I don't want to buy this something a little bit too small or this geographic area, but I know people that would love to have this. Right. So I was like, all right, I just floated the first one out and kind of got the fever of oh man, I just made 50K and I already had a deal sitting there. I'm not going to just let it go.
Right.
So I really wasn't built for that. It's really just for me to buy long-term holds, but then I came across these deals because right now I got about 4,000 leads in my system that he's calling through daily.
You know what we need to do? We got to build an AI system that does all this scraping at a higher level.
I'm down.
I'm actually looking into one for a buddy of mine. He's a realtor out in Park City, Utah. And he sells super high-end shit. So, if they get 200 leads, 97% of them might be people that he wouldn't even work with, which then he just sends the qualified lead to somebody else. I think it's like his brother he sends it to or something. But he wants to scrape everything from where they currently live, the home value, what their income is, where they work, LinkedIn, all this thing. So I'm looking right now at connecting him with a dev team that can build that like whole custom.
Yeah.
And let's say it cost him $10,000. Well, think about all the labor you're saving and everything else over time. If it just does it automatically and sources and scores that list for you, so we need to talk about that, because I think that I just started this process with him yesterday, so I'm going to be in the scraping world.
So like there's 50, whatever the number is. I think there's like 50,000, 200,000. I don't know how many self-storage facilities across the United States. If someone could give all that to me today, I would write a nice check to get it and plug it in my CRM and have like 4 callers tomorrow.
Right.
It's not like people build, there's not as many houses as storage facilities. So it could be like a one-time pop, get it all in via AI and let's go to work, right? Yeah. Yep. Because I'm sure I only got like 4 or 5 states scraped right now. And he scrapes like one state every 4 weeks is about on average. And it's like a couple thousand per state. So anyways, backing up to your original question is I got another one under contract that's going to close in about 30 days, knocking on wood. That'll be like one of those, your flips. And then I have some industrial buildings that I talked about that are long-term holds under contract. And, I went through my due diligence process of getting the tax returns, looking at the rent roll, the leases, verifying all the utility bills, like just, all right, so what's the true income? What's the true expenses? And, there were some things that when I underwrote it initially, made my offer, changed, right? The income was lower on the tax returns that he claimed. Some of the expenses were slightly inflated. I educated myself on like, all right, some TI and churn costs that really need to be added in here. So had a good conversation with the seller yesterday. We agreed on a little bit lower price, about $500,000 reduction. And then he was kind of stuck on some seller financing terms that I wanted a little bit lower rate and some different terms, like some interest-only periods and some other provisions in the note that would help protect me. Yeah. So he agreed on the price and some things, and he didn't agree on others. So now I'm at the point to the drawing table. It's like, all right, what do I go back to him and try to renegotiate, or do I walk away from the deal? So like, always get tax returns, always verify, get utility statements. If you're buying any real estate, do your due diligence, talk to brokers, and that's kind of where I'm at. So like on my mind right now is like, all right, what are my next steps? I'm continuing with some additional broker conversations this week and some additional due diligence. I'm like, all right, what can I really get the revenue to? What are my true expenses, even taking it further? And then I don't like to retrade, but in this scenario, some things were different, so I kind of had to.
Yeah.
And that's...
Makes sense.
So that's a long-term hold. I'd really like to get it. It's a good seller financing terms. It's just the numbers got to work, right? And sometimes the best deals are the deals you don't do. So I'm fully prepared to walk away, but I don't necessarily want to.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's anything in business, right? You've always got to be able to have a head on your shoulders, and I always talk about taking the emotion out of business. Mm-hmm. Like if you make decisions based on emotion, you're fucked.
Right.
Like you can't. Like you have to remove yourself from anything you feel that you thought, how bad you want it, and you have to objectively be able to take a step back and go, this is what it is on paper. Like this is what it is. Is this the right deal or not?
Right.
And I think that's where so many entrepreneurs in general make mistakes, is they can't get out of the emotional aspect of it. And it's hard. Like it's hard. I always talk about scar tissue. Like the more scar tissue you build, the more shit that you go through, the more mistakes you make, the better that you get at truly removing your emotions. Like I remember like the first person I ever had to fire, it was like death. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I couldn't sleep. Like I just felt terrible. Now it's like, look, if this person is not working out, they have to go. It doesn't matter how bad it sucks. You can't worry about what their next move is. I sound inhumane to say this, but like, I would worry about like, oh, dude, I'm putting somebody on the streets. Like I'm literally putting you on the streets. I'm putting you on unemployment. And I would get so consumed in this, but that does nothing for me. It does nothing. I shouldn't even say it does nothing for me. It does nothing for the business. My number one objective is to take care of the company. Mm-hmm. And if you allow somebody that is not producing to stay on your team, then that's not what's in the best interest of the company. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. You could love the person. You could love them, how great they are, but it doesn't matter if they're not producing.
Yeah, and I've heard you say this in the past, is like, so him selling at a certain price and getting certain terms, and me buying at a certain price and certain terms, like I need to be a good steward of my capital and protect my family because this is an investment. He needs to do the same thing. He needs to be a good steward of his buildings and his investment, and that's what we talked about yesterday. It's like there's no hard feelings. It's like,
yeah, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
And I need this, and people that get so hung up on a deal, it's a scarcity mindset because I feel very confident. Like if this doesn't work, I'll go deploy my capital in another deal because
you're going to find it.
I'll find another deal. I'm like zero, no emotions. But if you're starting out, like you may lose a client or don't get a client, or you're going to cut your fees and your rates to try to get this client because you're like, oh, well, I can't find another one. I really need this deal or this customer or whatever it is. Right? You get so hyper-focused on that, just one little aspect of it versus like just taking a step back.
For sure. Yeah, man, there's really no like true unicorns in the world except for this Hummer that I bought.
Nice. We'll have to get an update on that. What's
12,900 original miles. That is a unicorn.
That's
I could have flipped it for a $50,000 profit in 48 hours. Hadn't even seen it. I turned it down. It's not replaceable. There is no next deal. Like, but anyway, enough of that shit.
Yeah. What else? What's going on with you?
Oh, well, you read the room as soon as you walked in today.
Yeah.
Are you always just stressed out? Yeah, dude. I have been lately. Like, I'm running hot. I was talking to my wife last night. I'm driving like 95 miles per hour everywhere I go from point A to B. Dude, yeah, that's a lot. Like, the big thing for me, I go through these moments where it's just like, dude, I'm not being a good dad. Like, those are the things that kill me. That's what's been eating me up lately. It's just like, dude, my kids they're growing so fast and things are changing so fast. And I'm like, I'm missing way too much. And I think that everybody probably feels like that, but my biggest problem that I'm super like hyper aware of right now is even when I'm with them, I'm not always with them, if that makes sense. Like I'm physically in the room, but I'm not present mentally. So, dude, it's been weighing on me lately.
Was there like a moment that like your daughter said something to you and like you didn't respond? Was there a moment that like something clicked in your mind to say like, oh my God, I just really like let her down? Like did something happen recently? Or
these things happen, in general, there wasn't something like just recently happened in the last like couple days or few days or something. But yeah, dude, there have definitely been times where like they've been like, Daddy, I did this. And like they thought I didn't know that they were doing it. Like something at school was coming up where they like come to me and be like, Daddy, I did this. And they're telling me because they didn't realize that I already knew. And it's just like, it's just this moment where you're like, damn, like, why would you think that, And it's like, well, clearly I have not been present enough to make sure that they knew that I knew, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, it's everything. Like both my girls are active right now. My youngest, Rowie, she's doing gymnastics and she's on like pre-team. And like, man, when I go to a practice, it just like it's like, the biggest thing in the world because I miss so many of them, like Whitney's running the home front. So yeah, dude, like I've had this moment recently where it's just like, I have, and they're practicing, man. They're not old enough. It's not like they're competing or at games or whatever else, but just the practices, just being there. Like when I go to one, like at volleyball, I went last week, and like they would just hit a ball, and they look at me, and they're smiling. Like they just want to see that I see them and I'm there. Yeah, and I don't know, man. So it's been tough. I've been really trying to focus on it. We talked about like seasons when we recorded our last couple episodes, and like I'm just in a winter right now. Like it's just like cash is just blowing out and taking a bunch of risk on things that I don't know if they'll work, and I'm consumed. And I got a lovely notification from our friends at the IRS this week.
Wow.
My accountant told me I was good for the year. I had a bunch of real estate, not technically real estate, but heavy equipment that I had bought. I think that I bought this for tax reasons, and it's kind of its own separate entity and company where I just rent out these scissor lifts that I bought. So anyway, I was told that like a $7,500 quarterly tax payment was all I needed for the third quarter because I was like set. So I made the $7,500 payment, which is literally like unheard of in my world. And then I got a notification from the IRS this week that I owed 30 grand in federal taxes. So I scan it and I send it to her. I'm like, hey, let me know what the mistake is or whatever. Yeah, no, she entered that I made a $75,000 payment, not a $7,500 payment. And then when everything shook out at the end of the year, so yeah, I got smashed with that. It's just, dude, I mean, one thing after another. It's just, it's a season. But yeah, dude, the biggest thing like I'm trying to do right now is we're leaving tomorrow to go on a hunting trip. I need that bad.
Stoked about that.
Dude, I need it bad. Like I need to breathe. I need some time in the middle of nowhere. That's the best part about hunting. It's not even actual hunting. It's just chilling out and relaxing. Like my soul needs that right now.
Well, I asked you, like, are you bringing your computer? And you're like, I have to, so I don't know if you can get around that.
I can't, man, like, if I could just work like an hour a day, then I'm so much better when I get back, It doesn't feel like so much doom and gloom. But yeah, man, lately it's just everything. I'm just going through like one of those times where everything that I do and touch and move forward on or don't move forward, like everything feels just hard right now. But I know, man, like I keep trying to remind myself that every time like you're struggling with something or something is really hard, there's something great coming. Like you're just like the world wants you to quit and give up.
Right.
And that's why so many people fail. But if you don't quit and you don't give up and you just continue to push through, I know that when I get to the other side of this, it's going to be worth it. But man, sometimes it doesn't feel like you're ever going to get there. So we'll see. So yeah, man, it's been a lot within the company, controlling a lot, running a lot. I've got I've hired 3 new team members in the last 3 weeks. So growing, scaling, it's a lot right now.
Yeah, it sounds like, you're wearing a lot of different hats. Like you're building, plus your company's going through some transition. So you're working on like I'm the developer hat, I'm the HR hat, and how many ever hats you got in your closet, right? Yeah. So like, and then all that pulls you in so many different directions, and like one little thing here can impact like the hat that you're wearing over here. So like, I don't know. Have you thought about like just dumbing it down, like knowing like, all right, this is my role or this is what my objective is for the week, and maybe either delegating some of the other stuff or like in the past, like thought about like, all right, this is the role. This is what I want to focus on. These are the hats I truly need to wear in my company. If I'm not wearing or doing this hat, I'm like, it's the ROI of my time, money, and investment is just not there if I'm working in all these other areas.
Yeah, man, there's a book. I don't know why the title of it's not coming to me. Dan Martell wrote
Buy
it.
Back Your Time.
Yes. And before that book, quite some time ago, when we'll say I started to make money, like decent money, man, there was a time where, I don't know who it was, but they were like, I cut my own grass. Like, first of all, I enjoy cutting grass. Like, I enjoy it. But I don't remember where it was. I think it was some type of Arate event or something. It was like, what is your hourly rate? And I went through this whole exercise where I broke down, like I took my total income for the year, and then I broke that down like 50 weeks a year, 8 hours a day, and just was like, this is your hourly rate. So anything in your personal life or in your business that is underneath of that hourly rate, you shouldn't be doing it. And then, I had this like kind of like moment where it's like, man, like, dude, I can pay somebody to cut my grass. Like, my hourly rate is XYZ dollars, and I can pay somebody to cut my grass for a fraction of that cost, and I get that time back.
Right.
So I constantly remind myself of that with anything in life. But yeah, man, it's a lot. One thing that I do, I actually learned this from the Entrepreneurs Organization. I was in their accelerator program before I had $1 million company. I had sub $1 million companies. And it was one of these exercises that I still do to this day. I have my team do it. It's actually been a while. So I need to have my team do this, but it's called Elevate Delegate. Have you ever heard of it?
Vaguely.
So I think it's like a quadrant, right? So if you can visualize like 4 squares, it's like things that you're good at, things that you're bad at, and then things that you love to do and things that you hate to do. and you list out every single thing that you do in your company, and everything has to go into a box. So there's things that you love to do, but you're not good at it. There's things that you hate to do, but you're good at it. There's things that you hate to do and you suck at them, right? And the concept is whatever that quadrant, that suck bucket is, it's the things that you're not good at and you don't like doing, somebody else has to do them. Because there's somebody else, in my case, on my team that enjoys that stuff. Like most of those things for me are like, my assistant does them now. Like I have an executive assistant. She does all that shit. Like for example, bought this Hummer, like the plates. Dude, going to the DMV, like I think I'd rather cut my fingernails out. Like it's just torture to me. So, like she handles those things in my personal life that free up my time. That would definitely fall in the bucket. Now, that's not a good example. That's like my personal life. Those aren't things within the work life. But even here, within the business, it's like everybody in the company has things that they're not good at and they hate doing. But there's somebody else on the team that does enjoy those things and they're good at them, right? And I talk to my team about this all the time. Like, we are a small business. You're going to have to do shit that you don't like to do. Like, it's just part of it, Everybody here takes out the trash. And we have a cleaning service that comes once a week, but like everybody here has to do some things at some time. But if you can get the things out of your work environment that you suck at and you hate to do, your job becomes much better. Your productivity becomes much better. And again, you're giving somebody those things that somebody else probably actually enjoys doing. So they're getting more work that they want. You can take some of that work that they don't want. So yeah, man, I think this though, what I always try to remind myself is I'm never above anything. Like, even as I know what it's like to have a $500,000 a year business, I know what it's like to have a multi-million-dollar a year company, I'm still not above taking the trash out. Like, I will take the trash out today. Like, I don't expect somebody else to do that for me. So I'm not above anything, but in the same respect, I do think having that awareness around like what you need to do and what other people can do for you is super important, and valuing your time.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know the answer to this question. If someone asked you, like, what's your one role within your company that generates the highest ROI? Like, what is the one thing, right? So if you're not working on that one thing, in theory, I wouldn't say all else doesn't matter, but, like, what is that one thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the most obvious thing is I'm still very heavily involved in sales, in business development. So, like, nothing pushes the needle in the growth of the company more than that. But somebody still has to run this shit. You know what I mean? So, and that's, I have big goals for 2026 for just transformations in general. But I've got to hire a salesperson. I have got to get somebody that can be who I am and trusted like I am by our clients, that they can take that over. Mm-hmm. Because it is like, it's the difference between working on the business, working in the business. When I'm doing sales, I'm working in the business. I'm not working on it. We're at a size now, especially with everything that we have evolving with all the AI workflows and automations that we're building. I need to be working on this business 98% of the time. Where right now, it's realistically probably like 60% of the time. Maybe 50% sometimes, maybe 80% other times. But generally speaking, like, I'm not where I need to be. Mm-hmm. And, those things take risk. Like, hiring salespeople is risky, man. Yeah. Like, there's way more that suck than are good. And, next thing you know, you've hired somebody at XYZ base salary. You could blow 30 grand before you figure out they suck.
Or more, yeah.
And it's not even the money that's the problem. You just lost all that time.
Yeah. So your ROIs are your one thing. It's like, if I'm not on the phone with a prospective client or talking about my company to a prospective client that could use my services, like, outside of that, kind of doesn't matter. But you need all that other stuff to perform, maintain existing clients. Like, I get all that. So.
You do, man. And look, here's the other thing I'll say on that. This shit's hard. Like, nobody has it all figured out. Ever. Like, Jeff Bezos does not have everything figured out. He is still figuring shit out right now. Elon Musk is still figuring shit out right now. In every business that these guys have, they're still figuring things out. Now, they might not be touching it in the trenches as much as somebody like I am. I mean, they're not, obviously. But, like, nobody ever has this thing all figured out. Like, ever. Nobody has it all figured out. And it never ends. Ever. So, and I think the role thing is huge, but that delegate, what am I trying to say? Elevate, delegate. There it is. Elevate, delegate. That exercise, dude, that's a game changer.
Yeah.
Because it brings awareness to you that you don't have. If you don't go through that, you don't realize what you're doing that you shouldn't be, right? Because you don't have a boss that you're going to be like, hey Kenny, this is what you do with your time. Like, no, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing that with my team, where I'm holding them accountable, but nobody holds me accountable to do that. So you have to hold yourself accountable, and I think putting in exercises like that is a game changer.
Yeah, and it also reminds me of like busy work I don't know the exact terminology, busy work versus like, all right, this is needle moving, kind of like I'm exchanging emails with prospective clients versus I'm looking at my email and just like reading BS or someone needs something, right? So sometimes you can get caught up of like, all right, I'm gonna start my day. You open up your email, then you get an hour later, you did nothing except like do busy work versus like save that busy work for when you're like at the end of the day when you're tired, not really motivated and focused on certain things, but like your most productive hours of the day. Like some people are real good at like late at night. For me, it's like 8 in the morning till like 1 o'clock are my most productive times. Like that's when I'm ready to like underwrite deals, talk to people, like I'm sharp and I'm focused. Towards the afternoon after lunch, you're like, kind of slowing down a little bit. And other people times are different, but just like learn your most productive times of the day, and like that's where your one thing needs to be focused on in your highly productive hours.
Or you could do what our buddy JV does at 1 o'clock. Just go drink like 3-4 Monsters, pop an Adderall,
True,
and just let it eat.
True.
And then you can go till 3 a.m. You just never stop.
I'm not built like that.
Dude, I'm not either. Well, hey, man, good talk today.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We're here. We're here, and we're going to continue to be here. So we'll see you all in the next one.
See you.